Hey, what's going on, guys? Another Injustice video, for now. When I've got my new hard drive, it will be something different. I apologise for that. But this is going to be a video on... a video on top 5 Injustice characters, in my opinion. So please comment down below any of your favourites. I'd love to see them as well. And may play them in the future and see if I can use them properly. So, enjoy this video for the top 5. At number 5, we have Batman. If you want to sum up, average. The most average character, but an easy one for beginners. Fairly agile and fairly powerful. He does average damage, so it's all good. The combos are okay for Batman, and just overall, I would say, if you're an expert, like, you can get some fun out of this, but mainly for beginners. For an expert, it's going to be later on. The ones that I've done later on for the video, e.g. Bane. So Batman's okay, and a lot of moves are okay to use, except one you have to be careful with is his grapple. You see all of the frames that you're standing there, very vulnerable to his attacks, well, to Superman's attacks. So you have to be careful with how you use that and utilise it to the best of your ability. But have some fun with Batman. He's interesting. You know, so there's not a lot to say other than he's a beginner. Well, and I'm also stuck in the corner. Help! Let Batman out! Alright, there you go. And Superman, dead. Huh. Green Arrow is the 4th. Gotta say, a Hawkeye ripoff for DC. This guy, interestingly enough, I would say 4th. Not much damage, but combos very easy to set yourself up, and you do not have to burn too much meter setting your own combos up, which is amazing. I love him for that. But as I say, low damage combos. So this is definitely an expert character to use. As long as you have some experience at this game, you should be okay. I just think for beginners, go with someone like Batman, or Flash sometimes is okay. But Green Arrow, quite fast with most of his moves as well. The only one that's slow is obviously his X moves, which is fine, because they are for everyone. I like his super, I like his agility, I like his style. You just smashing him with a bow. It's like, why? And then of course there's Sinestro. Just mesmerised by him. I'll just use all my meter and kill him. Bane is number 3. Now, I love this character so much, but he has to go at number 3 because, like every big character, he's slow, and you have to be careful with him because the Venom tanks you see in the bottom left, you will eventually get a debuff. You can stack it up to 3 times, but when that runs out, you get a little symbol down below and you do barely any damage, and you take more damage and you move slower. So it's one of the worst debuffs in the game. But if you can utilise Bane correctly, you will absolutely dominate against people. Because some of his combos, and then one of the combo moves that you can lead into, is just amazing. You see that damage from that one move. It's crazy. Super's unblockable. So, as a final point, I would say good to use because his super is easy to connect with people and then does crazy damage, and about 50% of their health with all 3 Venom tanks stacked. And number 2, it's Solomon Grundy. This interesting character. He is a big one, so slow with his moves. However, well, and also grapple heavy character, as you can see a lot is around grappling people. But he has a few moves which grant him invincibility frames, so if your opponent is ready for you, they have to do enough damage to be able to knock you out of that invincibility frame. And his chains do a fairly decent amount of damage, and unlike Bane, he does not get the debuff of Venom tanks. He actually gets some buffs with his chains, so defensive chain, health chain, and power chain. The majority of the time you want to be using the power chain because it does the most damage. And something like the health chain is if you want to start losing less health, kind of thing. Because, well, in the defense chain I don't really use very much. I don't find it very effective. But the power chain you see here, fairly good damage. And I think it increases his damage for a short time. Poor Grundy. Bullying. Well, it will turn into bullying if you're not careful, stupid Batman. And his super, lastly I'll talk about his super. Interestingly enough, as you see from the Black Adam video, you do not instantly consume it. You use all your bars up, and in that time you have to grapple them, and then he does super, which does fairly good damage. So that's why he's number 2. And top spot goes to Green Lantern. Love him. Favourite character in Injustice still. Bane's close, but fairly agile with his moves. Not a lot of... You're not vulnerable most of the time with Lantern's moves. I'm getting mixed up. It's not Arrow, it's Lantern. He's kind of medium range, so he does have long range moves, but they're quite unreliable sometimes and you don't want to be using them too much. He does maybe just a bit above average damage, but I still love him because combos, you don't have to set up a freeze arrow. You have to set something up called Lantern's Light, which is where you throw them in the air, and it's a really good thing to use. It's amazing because it sets you up into the combo moves, which are fairly damaging for Green Lantern. They're not too bad. They do a bit above average. And his super, although blockable, does fairly decent damage. So that's why he's top 1. He's number 1. That's right, number 1. Thanks for watching. Peace.